Howdy. Today is an Excalibur build. This is not a max investment build, but just an Excalibur build. I was trying to work on a max investment Excalibur, but I still haven't really settled on something that I think is as good as I would like. So maybe in the future that'll become easier, given few updates. Maybe Excalibur will get buffed with Warframe 1999. I'll probably just wait until then. Granted, that's a really long time to do an Excalibur max investment video, like 6 months from now, but oh well. So for now, this is just like a normal Excalibur video. I wanted to show that he works very well with Blast, specifically, because it's very effective on him. Now. And wait, did I already mention? I can't remember. Did I mention this already? This is because someone asked me to do an Excalibur video. And, you know, ask and you shall receive, as they say. So, for those that don't already know how Excalibur works, he's got his first ability, Slash Dash. Here, let's go here. Slash Dash is a pseudo-exalted, so if you don't know how those work, I suggest looking up a video or reading the wiki of what they do. But it is an ability that auto-targets enemies and just goes through and slashes them. It has a very high chance. I think it's got a guaranteed slash proc. I could be wrong about that, though. Yeah, maybe? Is that guy slashed? Yeah, it looks like it has a guaranteed slash proc. And, well, you get complete damage immunity while it happens, but it's really clunky, it's really slow, and it's very annoying to use. Personally, I hate it. You can make it one-shot stuff with some funny builds, but I don't care for it. It does build your melee combo, though. I forgot his passive. His passive on Umbral Excalibur has your guy exhibit sentience when he's out. That's not working because I don't... Alright, hang on a second. Have the augments on. So on Excalibur, Umbra specifically, he'll run around and attack stuff, but he can die, and then he like kneels down, you have to go back into him. This is actually bad, because if you have a buff from a teammate or a helmet ability buff like Roar or something, and you go into your operator, for whatever reason, it will cancel all your abilities and buffs and you'll lose them. So this is actually really, really bad. You don't like this, which is sad because it's a cool idea, but in practice it ends up sucking real, real bad. So to fix that, you can use a Band-Aid augment. I wish they would just freaking fix the bug of it removing the buffs, but oh well. There's a Band-Aid augment, Warrior's Rest. It's an Exos mod. It came out with the Dante Unbound update. Umbra's ability strength increases by 15%, but he no longer exhibits or no longer fights independently alongside his operator. So it makes him work like normal Warframes when you go into the operator and gives 15% strength. It does mean you can't run Prime Sure-Footed, which is unfortunate, but oh well, I guess there's not really much you can do about that. So you likely want to use this to fix that. His second ability, Radial Howl. Now, it's a version of Radial Blind on normal Excalibur. It works exactly the same as Radial Blind, except it also strips Sentience built-up adaptation. Other than that, it works the same as normal Excalibur's Radial Blind. So what Radial Blind / Howl does is it's just a 25-meter radius of it blinding enemies. Very straightforward. It has a long duration of 15 seconds and a high base range of 25 meters. And it also opens them to finishers. Very nice ability, very straightforward ability, and it's also easy to shield gate with. And him screaming sounds so very satisfying. His third ability is Radial Javelin. Radial Javelins impale nearby enemies, inflicting slash status. This ability fucking sucks at base. It's expensive, has 25-meter range, which is nice, I guess, but still expensive. And it does almost no damage. It just, like, pins stuff. That's it. Why would you ever care about that? Look at that. That's it. It's horrible. Now, it is extremely good with an augment, though. Again, Band-Aid augment. That's kind of a theme on him, is Band-Aid augments. He's got a Band-Aid augment for his 2, a Band-Aid augment for his 3, and a Band-Aid augment for his 4, which you'll see in a minute. I really wish they would change that, because he kind of needs augments to not suck, but it is what it is for now. So his, where is it? Augment. Oh, it's already on. Furious Javelin. Each enemy hit will increase Excalibur's melee damage by 15% for 16 seconds. That scales with both strength and duration, and it is a multiplicative damage increase like, whatchamacallit, Eclipse. And it also, to my knowledge, has no cap. So when I cast it, and I have as much strength as I do right now, which is 313%, I get 46% more melee damage for every enemy struck. There's 20 enemies right here, so if I cast this, 939% more damage. I'm dealing more than 10 times the damage with my melee weapon now. That's kind of ridiculous. Just insanely broken. Now, something you have to keep in mind with it is that if you recast it, well, after hitting, like, look, I hit 3 enemies, I got 142%. Now, if I kill this guy, and I recast it, it's not a snapshotting ability, it resets. So now it hit... Oh, he's not dead. I was like, why is it still 142? Whoops. Okay, now the guy's dead, now I cast it again. Look, it went down to 95%. So it resets for every time you cast it based off of how many enemies you hit. So you really want to make sure you cast it when there's a big group of enemies. And it's nice to have decent durations so it doesn't last a short period of time. But that is a huge damage increase you can get because of the augment. And then finally we have his fourth ability, Exalted Blade, which is his exalted weapon. It consumes 25 energy to cast. It takes 2.5 energy per second. It shows it has a base damage of 250 here, but the damage actually comes from where you go and look at it. It's modded separately. A blind radius of 5 meters and blind duration of 6 meters. What that means is when you slide melee, it does a mini version of radial blind or radial howl. Like so. Not really worth it. It does consume extra energy. Like 25, 30 extra energy. So I really wouldn't bother with that most of the time. The normal version of radial howl or blind is just way better. Now it does have an augment. Again, Band-Aid augment. Exalted Blade's damage type changes depending on Excalibur's emissive color, and status chances increase by 300%. So if we take this off and we go to his Exalted Blade, it does scale with strength, so the higher your strength, the higher the damage you'll get, right? So I'm at 214%, so it actually goes up to 534. Because it does have the base damage that it says here, right? 250 base damage. Now... Oh wait, I gotta take all these mods off. The base attack speed is pretty horrible at 0.833. Has a base range of 2.8 meters. 100% follow through, which is nice. Horrible base crit chance of 15%. A very standard 2 multiplier. A mediocre status chance of 15%. It does have very high slash weighting though, as you can see. Now what the augment does... we go back and find it, if I don't suck at finding stuff, is it changes the damage type to be one element, no longer the IPS, and that element is based off your emissive. So if it's blue or close to blue, it's electric. If it's red or close to red, it's fire. If it's white or close to white, it's cold. And if it's green or close to green, it's toxin. And then it increases the status chance by a humongous badungus 300%. That is not a base stats chance increase. It's modded and additive to mods, just like other stuff, but it does scale with strength. So, you know, 214%, we're at a 641% status chance increase, which is pretty huge. If you don't have this augment, though, the weapon's gonna kind of suck ass, so I highly recommend using the augment. Now, other than that, the weapon, again, has not incredible base stats. You're usually going to want to go for like attack speed and stuff on it to fix it. Now, here, I should show the weapon first. It throws little waves out. These waves do not increase your combo multiplier. I don't know if they scale with your combo multiplier. Someone check the wiki, let me know in the comments. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it likely doesn't. But they do have piercing. You can see if I throw it, it will hit the enemies and go through them. But it does not have infinite piercing, I do not believe. See that? Count it. 1, 2, 3. 3 damage numbers, and there's a group of 4 enemies, but if I throw it this way, it goes and hits the wall. So it does not have infinite piercing, or it would not appear so. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Hard to tell. Maybe it does. I don't know. Anyways, that is not affected by increasing the range on the weapon, and it also does significantly less damage than just hitting enemies with the sword itself. So you're still going to use it like a normal melee. The extra waves are just like, you know, a bonus on top. Just an added bonus to the weapon. So. You're going to want to build damage. Crits is not really worth building because you can't get Blood Rush. It does come with 2 Umbral format base. If it's the Exalted Umbra Blade, right, on Umbra Excalibur. I did form them off, though, because I don't want to use the sack mods on it. But that is what most people use. I don't think it's really worth building crit chance because the base crit chance is so low. If you do use it at base, you can go to the double sacrificial mods, and with them maxed out, you get 275% crit chance if you have both on and they're maxed out, okay? If you use that, and you use Arcane Avenger, you can get guaranteed normal critical hits. I personally would rather not bother with that. So instead, we have completely forsaken crit chance, and we will instead get all of our crit chance from Wrathful Advance, which gives a flat crit chance increase to melee weapons. It is the Helmet ability from Kalervo, and also lets you teleport. Careful not to target an enemy when you teleport, or it is going to consume your combo to do a heavy attack. So always try to teleport on to the floor or something. But this completely fixes our crit chance problem. So then I can just build for straight damage and crit damage still, because, you know, we are still critting. Now we have Condition Overload because, well, we're going to be able to apply a bunch of statuses. This gives us a bunch of damage. Prime Pressure Point as well for just more damage. We have... Wait a second. This is the wrong... Elements? Color? Is it? Question mark? Vicious Frost. Molten Impact. Yes, this is the wrong color. If you're going to go with this build, right? I'll get to that in a second. Organ Strike for crit damage. Virulent Scourge, Voltaic Strike. So we get even more status chance, and we also get the damage, and we also get corrosive, and then Molten Impact, Vicious Frost, so that we can get blast damage. Now, you are likely better off using the other mod as well, right? North Wind, just for higher blast weighting. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. You already have super high status. But I would still rather have higher blast weighting. So like here, I would switch the emissive so that it's fire or cold, so it mixes for blast. Now we have way higher blast weighting than corrosive, which is what I wanted. Primed Reach, because we are still trying to hit stuff with the normal sword, and the sword has 100% follow through, which is very, very good. So we want to maximize our range with that. And that's basically a very straightforward build. Blast is great here because we have a ton of status chance, which is very nice. And Corrosive is obviously good for stripping enemy armor. And then we can easily get both of them because we're not having to build crit chance on the weapon. So we can fit all of the mods in we need to get both elements, and plus, you know, you get the inherent element from the Chromatic Blade augment. So building Corrosive Blast on the frame is super easy. I use Arcane Strike to fix the horrible attack speed, so I don't have to put an attack speed mod on. But you can try to fit an attack speed mod on instead. This is the build. We have Brief Respite so we can get our shield gate back, because we also have catalyzing shields. We just cast Radial Howl to get our shield gate. Umbral Intensify for extra strength. You normally have 3 Umbral Forma slots on Excalibur Umbra at base. I got rid of 2 of them because you don't need all the Umbral mods on him. So we have Transient Fortitude for strength as well, a little bit of negative duration. Fierce Javelin because we want that massive damage bonus from our third. Equilibrium to fix the energy economy. Prime Continuity for duration. I already explained. Catalyzing Shields, you know, for the shield gate. Brief Respite. Prime Flow for energy max. And Chromatic Blade for our 4th ability. Aegis is just for extra survivability, and Warrior's Rest so we don't lose all of our buffs and shit when we go into our Warframe. Then I use Naramon just because Naramon is nice to not lose my melee combo. And you can use Opening Slam so that you can build your melee combo faster. Now, I'm just going to show it at base, but you can add a pet in to spread viral so that you can kill stuff faster. So first, I'm going to show it with just the weapon itself, right? This is just the weapon. Combo's not built up already or anything. And you can heavy attack, which is why I have Tennokai on here. And the heavy attacks actually do a pretty huge amount of damage. You can see it's got a bit of AoE, which is nice because of the blast. But the damage is not very good yet, but that's because I haven't cast my other abilities. So now we already have our melee combo built up, which is going to help. And then we cast our 1. So now we can actually crit. And this right here is already going to massively increase our damage. Look at that. Our damage is way, way higher now. Beautiful. And that's still without our third or viral. So then we simulate these guys again. Cast my first, cast my third, and now watch them die. Quite effective, no? Mon ami? Very juicy, if you ask me. And then, the more priming you have, the more damage you get from Condition Overload, because we're only applying 2 statuses right now, Blast and Corrosive. And we also don't have Viral. And because Blast is, you know, making explosions on all the enemies, grouping makes you get quadratic scaling damage, which is really insane. So the best pet here is easily Nautilus. Slap in Nautilus, put on Hellstrom, and you're going to be able to apply a bunch of Puncture, Impact, Heats, and Viral everywhere with this build right here. And now things are going to get extra spicy. Simulate these enemies, cast my third, come over here, pulls them all in, we get that going, we got this going, and now one hit and they all died. That's kind of ridiculous. I am going to show it without it sucking stuff in real quick though, so we'll take Cordon off real quick. Oh yeah, right. Oh wait, no, I don't know why. I was about to say we have Tenacious Bond, but we don't. Synth Deconstruct here is very nice because we have Equilibrium, so this gives us, you know, extra energy. Manifold Bond helps us to get survivability with Guardian more and spam Cordon more. Duplex Bond helps spread all the status procs from our Hellstrom everywhere. So that's nice to have. Unsimulate these enemies, or not unsimulate, sorry, unpause the enemies. I forgot to make myself invincible, but that's fine. We can just cast this. There we go. And now look, they all just fall over dead. 7.3 million. That's ridiculous. You can do some hefty damage with Excalibur, which is very, very nice. He's not lacking in the damage department. And he does have AoE because of Blast. His biggest problem is that melee influence exists on normal melee weapons. That's his biggest problem. I mean, this is still extremely strong. Stronger than a lot of melee weapons. But again, there are melee weapons in the game that you can make stronger than this. But it is very entertaining, and it pierces through enemies and stuff. And, you know, you get all of the other buffs. So it's very, very snazzy. I quite like it. Excalibur is one of my more used frames as well. He's pretty decent. He can be pretty boring. You either love him or you hate him. That's usually how it goes with Excalibur. But, yeah, pretty snazzy. Now, if you wanted to build crits, if you wanted to really maximize your crit, you can just go a stat stick on your melee. Like, I would use the Praetos. I don't have Praetos right now, but Praetos gives a ton of parkour velocity and speed. Right now we're using Telos Voltus. It does give parkour velocity as well. If you slap on the Gladiator mods, these will affect, the secondary effect will affect your Exalted Blade. So that's just an almost equivalent amount of crit chance as Blood Rush. So extra crit chance, always nice. We accept that. It's a fairly straightforward build. There's not a lot to it. It's just, you know, big PP damage on a entertaining frame, or entertaining to some people. Entertaining to me, but not to everybody. I would very much love to do a max investment Excalibur video just because he's like the OG. That just one-shot him with ease. 2.3 million on a yellow crit when we can get orange crits. Very effective. I hope this inspired somebody to give Excalibur a try. If you liked the video, then leave a like and a subscribe. That would be so very epic. We just hit 1,400 subscribers, and that's pretty cool. And we're monetized. I'm going to get my first paycheck from YouTube in like 2 weeks from now. That's going to be crazy. You guys are very epic. Thank you for that. So, yeah, that's it for the Excalibur video. Adios. That was not a normal jump. Wait a second. That was a wall jump. Let's fix that. Adios.